If you want the best cake in Germany, you can't travel like a tourist, you need to live like a local, and today, we're gonna show you how. We've been living in Munich nigh on 5 years now, and we've gone to some truly amazing places together, but we don't show you everything. We can't. And frankly, we are worried that truly locals experiences like this could hurt the channel, as videos have done in the past. Big, bombastic, recognizable, that's what the algorithm wants, that's how you grow a channel. But today we want to stick to our guns and show you a truly locals experience you won't find anywhere else. Something personal, something I put together special to have a little bit of everything. Hiking in gorgeous woods, exploring medieval castles, drinking local beer, and most importantly, sharing with you our most favorite cake shop in all of Germany. Even if this video doesn't do that well, this is the content we really want to make. Welcome to Near From Home's journey to Germany's best cake. And our adventure will begin like all good ones should, here at the ever under construction Munich Hauptbahnhof. So crazy around here. Our steed for the day will be the RB 54 to Kufstein, where we will be riding it almost all the way to Austria, and it will take about an hour. Specifically disembarking here, all alone as always. This is a proper hidden gem that I'm showing you today, here in Flintsbach. Do make sure you disembark quickly. The train does not hang out here for very long. It's a tiny station after all, next to a tiny village. Bye, train! And would you look at that, Americans? You can have freight and passenger rail on the same lines without massive delays to the people. And right before we leave, here from the platform itself, you can see one of our destinations for the day, and it looks epic. Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I do think we need to stop for a second and crack open our map, because even though all of these trails are on the Bavarian Ordnance Survey map, and you can find them online, you'll never find this exact route because I put it together myself. So let's go over it now. Starting here in Flintsbach, we're going to walk through the village, over to the outskirts and towards Falkenstein Castle. After that, we'll keep summiting the mountain to Petersberg, where they have an amazing beer garden and church, amazing views up there as well, before finally coming back down the mountain a different way through the valley and over to Brannenburg for our final event of the day, where we go and get the best cake in Germany. See, everywhere that we are going today, there is a sign pointing you in the right direction, but it's all about the way I've woven it together. That's the real beauty of the day trip. That and Bavaria, of course. That's beautiful too.
This is so pretty. I absolutely love walking through Flintsbach to Petersberg because the town is just so unconcerned with like putting on a show for tourists. It's so beautiful. I love it.
And this here, the Ordnance Survey map right at the trailhead, is actually what I used to plan this trip way back when. I've done this about 4 times now, and this is where it all started. But no more procrastinating. We are at the trailhead. It is all uphill from here, but it won't be too bad. Technically, there is an offshoot of this trail just over there that goes to a parking lot. Lame. We don't talk about those people because we take the train. Oh my word. Guys, how long has it been since we've gone to a castle together? It feels like years, and I am so happy to be back. I mean, frankly, this is why I love living in Bavaria so much. Hikes like these, ruins like this, and the beer waiting for us at the top. Perfection. What even is living out here? This stuff is so cool. To lay amongst the clovers and contemplate castle ruin fortifications. I don't think I could be happier now if I tried. And it only took 8 minutes to hike up here. This is the easiest castle ruin we've ever gone to, which is why it's not the tentpole activity for the day, but it could be. It really could be.
Have you noticed that every time we come here, there are like children everywhere?
This is such a classic Bavarian family activity.
And we actually came here in May with our friends who have a baby who's 1.5 years old, and you and him had a blast running around here. It was so cute.
Oh my God, it was fantastic. Honestly, maybe that's why I love this castle so much. It's a really cool memory having him just like run around actually just over there looking out, me being deathly afraid of him rolling down that hill.
I was like, Ben, come meet Ben.
That was adorable.
Very cute. So what do you think of this? How does it stack up to the other castles we've been to?
And we've been to quite a lot. It's kind of difficult to rate them all. I think castle ruin-wise, if we're being honest, I think it's like a little bit weaker. The border wall is amazing. This keep is great. The bridge, fantastic. But like all of the center mass is kind of lost. So castle-wise, I'd say it's a little bit weaker. Ambiance-wise, I actually struggle to think of one that is too much better than this. With the mountains above you, the plains below you. Objectively, it's a little weaker. Subjectively, I think it's one of my favorites.
No, I agree with that, because although there's not a lot infrastructure-wise going on in the middle, I do really like how soft the grass is and how much room there is to just like chill and relax. No, I just really love that we can hop on a train and an hour later come to a medieval castle ruin.
Can you believe it? We were in one of like the busiest cities near the Alps, and now we're here.
Really, really cool. I love it.
All right, that was brilliant. Did I say that enough? I'm not quite sure if I did. But now I grow thirsty. Let's move on to our next stop. Let's crush some elevation and get to Petersberg. Should only be about an hour and a half, so it'll take me 3. I think it's gonna be a steep one today, guys. Let's go.
So I film most of the footage for these videos, and in Premiere, the editing software we use, it never looks as steep as it is.
Not gonna lie, feeling a little tired. This is definitely the kind of hike to get your blood pumping. We've done about 1 kilometer, we've done about 150 meters up, which means we are halfway. And even though I know in my heart I can do it, I know I can do another kilometer, I know I can do another 150 meters elevation, when you look up at the cliff face that you need to climb, it's still so easy to be intimidated.
Yeah, I was just thinking that we've both kind of gotten to this place physically, where it's not the elevation gain that's hard, it's like how steep things are.
Yes.
Right now it's not that steep, and I feel like I could go on forever. Some sections of this are so steep.
I know the bit coming up is gonna be the steepest, but believe in us, we'll keep going. We're gonna earn that beer, damn it. We've made it to the fork in the road. That will be important later. What's important now is there's a bench and I can have a little rest. Whew. I am a little bit out of breath. And what's coming up next? The final ascent, the steepest part, but also the most beautiful. Isn't that how it always is? 15 minutes, final ascent, we'll be at the top. And that is that, out of the cool forest and into the delightfully warm sunshine. And what a beautiful view we have earned. All right, let's go find somewhere to sit. Now, this beer garden, it's not the biggest. There are a few seats here around the corner, but really the best, there are 4 tables right along the cliff. And I think one of them is open. We're in luck.
Kann ich bitte die Pfannkuchensuppe haben und auch Kalbsbrot?
Ich hätte gern 2 Paar Debreciner.
Ja.
Cool. Ich denke, das ist alles.
Okay, danke.
Danke, Ihnen.
Danke.
2 Paar Debreciner.
Dankeschön.
Danke.
I am so excited to show you this. It might just look like Wurst, but it's a lot more than that.
So artfully arranged.
Yeah. Also a lot more than I thought it was gonna be.
Prost. So I'm kind of realizing, I think this is our first time having our Bräu with you guys on the channel.
And it's probably my favorite thing about getting to live in Bavaria is trying all of the incredibly local beers. This one in particular from the town of Rosenheim, just a little bit north of us. And you'd kind of expect all the major beer brands to just dominate, and you'd only ever get those, right? But yet somehow in Bavaria, throughout the Alps, local beer brands still reign supreme, which is just really cool. Naturally, it tastes fantastic, but my favorite thing is I love that logo. That is easily the best beer logo of them all.
I think it's also my favorite. It's great.
Now, the wurst that we have is also a little bit special. It's not just a normal bratwurst or anything like that. This is a Debreciner, and it's mostly popular in the Austro-Hungarian sphere of influence, so including Bavaria in that as well. Alpine Germanic. It actually is named after a city in Hungary, and it's a mildly smoked sausage with a bunch of paprika. So it's got a bit of a kick to it, but I guess maybe only a German would consider it spicy.
I'm gonna get canceled.
I'm just saying, like, they call sweet paprika spicy, which, like, it is, I guess. The paprika gives it an incredibly intense color.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, this looks very different from other sausage I've seen you eat.
Yeah, you might just think that, like, from the outside it looks like a Rotwurst, but it's not. It's definitely a bit more Austrian, more like a Wiener. And then, yeah, with that paprika, it just looks really good. And it tastes incredible. This is easily one of my more favorite wurst of them all. If I could get this every time, I probably would. And it should pair really well with your cheese plate.
Oh yeah, the only vegetarian option on the menu.
This place is a really lovely gasthaus. I mean, it is family run. It's just incredibly quaint, but it is a little rough for vegans and vegetarians.
Also bring cash.
Also bring cash. For now though, I think I'll finish this sausage off in peace. And of course, no trip up here would be complete without checking out the church. We have been staring at it all day. All right, now though, belly's full, beer garden mission accomplished. It's time to descend the mountain we just climbed and begin our trek towards Germany's best cake. Finally, we're on our way. And as we look out over the grand expanse that is, well, just how flat Germany is, you might notice there's a bit of a bump around here, and just further on, there's a little yellow, well, it's not little, it looks little to me, but there is a yellow church and a yellow building behind it. That is where we're going. Should take about an hour and a half.
Oh my God, I'm like now realizing that this is very, very steep, even though we've done this 4 times now.
Now, tell me in the comments if you guys get like this, because I certainly do. Do you only recognize how steep something was on the way back down? The entire way up, I was just like, oh, I need to work out more. I'm just not that fit. On the way down, I'm scared for my life.
I'm like, how do we hike up this?
It's so slippy. Just wear really sturdy shoes or you're gonna be in trouble. Now, as we return back to the fork in the road from earlier, I hope you remember it, I told you it would be important, we have a decision to make. You see, you could go back down the road we came up from, go to Flintsbach, go back to the train, and I think that would be a perfectly fantastic day trip. In fact, that is the way most of the guides online are gonna tell you how to do it, and I think that's great. You won't even have missed out on getting something sweet because the Gasthaus back there had an extensive coffee and cake menu. So you could have gotten that and then headed back down to the train station. But no, Camille and I are absolutely in love with this Konditorei over in Brannenburg, just down the mountain across the valley, 1 village over. Should take about an hour and a half to get there. And guys, we can't be this close to the best cake in Germany and not go and get it. So let's get hiking. Mind your head. Looks like there are quite a few fallen trees on this route so far, but it's not too bad. In general, I would actually say this hike is prettier than the one we took up. Instead of it being kind of a fire road, it's a legitimate trail, but it is, however, also very slippy, very steep. I mean, it's like loose dirt, loose gravel, stuff like that. So again, you should already have your tough hiking boots on already, so you'll be fine, but just pay attention to where you put your feet. I'm having a really good hike with you. Now, something that I just cannot stop myself from thinking about whenever I'm traveling, whenever we're making high quality guides for you at home, is who would I recommend it for? Because obviously, I've talked about this on the channel before, you've heard it all before. I don't believe any one person has to do any one thing. It's all about you having the best trip for yourself, being efficient with your time and doing what you enjoy, which is why I love doing itinerary consultations with you guys at home. Link on screen, description box below if you want to book one, because sitting on a Zoom call with you guys at home, discussing the pros and cons, helping you decide and decipher where you should go, I find that so much fun, which begs the question, who should come and do the Petersberg Greatest Cake in Germany day trip? And for me, the answer's quite simple. If you want to live like a local, take the train to a random village, to hike, to get cake, to eat amazing Wurst and have good beer, this is a no-brainer, you should do it. I can understand if it's not quite sparkly enough for your first trip, so keep it in mind for your second. Does this not continue to be just such a stunning hike? I told you the vegetation was lush, and if you peek above this abandoned barn, the beautiful ridgeline of that mountain. Wow, right? So cool.
Can you believe we live here?
Not really. And actually, I just noticed right above your shoulder, you gotta take a look, right by this tree, that's Petersberg.
Yeah.
You can see the church popping out from the trees.
But after we're done relaxing, I think I'm gonna switch to my walking shoes because it is all flat meadow walking between here and Brannenburg.
Oh, and I hope you are ready for more absolutely stunning houses, because you're about to get a lot of them. I love this area.
See the bunny right there?
Wait, is that just like a free-range rabbit? That is so adorable. Oh my God, it's just a bunny rabbit running around. Honestly, it looks like he escaped. Logistics check-in, because admittedly, this does look a little weird, but if you follow my path and route to a T, you are going to have to take the public footpath that goes kind of around the school. You can see people taking it right now. It just feels like you're trespassing on school property, but you're not. I just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out because I can't in good faith have a map that makes you do this and not tell you that it's okay.
Babies! A baby for Screech. Bye, baby.
And welcome to Brannenburg, everybody. A tiny village with one absolutely beautiful church, a smattering of cute little farmhouses, but most importantly, the best konditorei I've ever been to. It's gonna close in about an hour. It does close around 5 or 6 o'clock every day, which is a little early considering everything we needed to accomplish, but we did make good time. So let's go get a seat.
While Ben gets cake, we're going to take a little break for Camille's Graveyard Review, where we rate Europe's spookiest cemeteries on a 5-star scale. So we are here in the Brannenburg Graveyard. Let's do a little compliment sandwich here. I love all of the flower beds in front of the gravestones. Each one of them is incredibly unique and very carefully tended to. Something I do not love about this graveyard is the gravel. Are we in a beer garden? Brannenburg, grow some grass. To finish up my graveyard compliment sandwich.
Finish off my graveyard compliment sandwich?
Yes. Didn't want to be too mean to the graveyard.
The problem is, I think you're really funny, but I don't think you did that to be funny.
I didn't. I was being serious. So all in all, I would give the Brannenburg Graveyard a 2 out of 10 for spookiness and a 5 out of 10 for beauty. See you next time.
This looks absolutely incredible. Well worth all of the wait and all of the hiking. I think we've definitely earned it. I really am not kidding or being hyperbolic. I believe this to be the best cake I have ever had in all of Germany. You really want to get here around noon or 1 p.m. for the best selection. Everything is made in-house, and that's when they start pumping them out. And I mean, what a joy to be here for that. However, for me, I really want to hike around. I want to visit all the other places, so I'm only ever here right before it closes. Make sure that you check the times online as well so that you don't end up arriving to a locked door and no cake. That'd be a shame. Naturally, because this is such an authentic place, it is going to be cash only. But now, let's stop talking, let's start eating. In particular, I went with what they call the Russian cheesecake. It has nothing to do with Russia. I don't even know if it's ever been to Russia or if a Russian's ever eaten one. It's just a name they made up. What really it is a very nice, not too sweet German cheesecake that they just put chocolate cake in as well. And I absolutely love it. It's so good.
Yeah, does it hold up?
This is so glorious. I mean, in general, I don't like American cheesecake. That's a cheesecake I grew up with, and I thought I didn't like it. It's too sweet. It's a little too liquidy, a bit too soft. German cheesecake though, it's less sweet, it's a little bit more tart, but having that be balanced out with all of the little crunchy chocolate pieces, this is one of my favorite things to get in the world.
Why don't you try for everybody my cake?
Oh, I'm having another one of mine.
Okay, now the polar opposite end of the cake spectrum.
This is a very different cake. This is so ridiculously decadent, but yeah, I'll try it. Camille went with a strawberry cream cake. Just look at this thing. Camille's feeling a little camera shy right now, and we don't have a ton of time, so I guess I'm trying a lot of cake on camera today. Again, the kind of whipped cream that they use in Germany is not quite as sweet as what my palate is used to, but honestly, mixing that with the jam and the cake and everything else, I think it brings it all up together, and it's not so overpoweringly sweet that I think my tongue is gonna hurt later, but I do need to eat all of it. I'm glad that they have such ridiculous portion sizes. Can you believe this was only like €4.50? I have paid so much more for so much less cake. Quality and quantity, you get both when you come here. But now, let us finish these off in peace. And now, with mission cake accomplished, we have checked off every single item on our to-do list, except for going home. So let's complete the circle that we started oh so many hours ago and walk to the Brannenburg train station. Should be about, well, hopefully only 20 or so minutes. And because Near From Home is never done giving tips, there's always more to explore and find. If you follow my route back to the train station to a T, you'll find yourself in the Blumenfield, Selbstschneiden. And what that means is they've got knives hanging over on the counter, drop a few euros in the box, and cut yourself some flowers. Let's grab some, and then we need to run to the train. It's gonna get kind of tight. And now, with the Brannenburg train station behind me, one stop north of Flintsbach from earlier, and with quite literally 5 minutes before my train leaves to Munich, I think it's time we finally bring this video to a close. And I really do. I hope you've enjoyed it half as much as I've enjoyed making it, because I have had an amazing day. Consider subscribing, that would be so helpful, help us grow the channel. The best thing you could probably do though, would be to share the video with your friends and family to help us grow the channel by word of mouth. The YouTube algorithm prefers bombastic and recognizable, of which I think we can all agree this hidden gem is not. So if you can help us grow, that would be greatly appreciated, because God knows the algorithm won't. Leave us a tip if you can spare it and you think we have earned it. Don't forget, I would love to help you with an itinerary review if you'd like it. But for now, I've got a train to catch. I'll see you in the next video, wherever that might be. Bing. Is it going to be long, do you think?